Hey guys, in this quick little video, I'm going to talk about what you can expect in your first year of starting your business. First and foremost, you're going to have to expect a little bit of a lag time before things start to roll. In most businesses, not all the time, but in most businesses, it's not like 0 to 100 in a month. It's slowly, and starts to build. So that's number one. So you're going to have to give yourself some runway financially, time-wise, so that you can get the business going. That's why I always suggest to people, when you want to go into business, you should transition into that business most of the time. Now, assuming here we're talking about the typical small business, I'm not talking about raising money from a venture capitalist and then jumping in, both feet at the same time. A typical business, you should slowly scale into it, especially in the tech industry. It's so easy to do, whether you become a freelancer or you start working on a SaaS, et cetera, et cetera. It's so much easier to do with tech. I have to tell you, I've been in business for about 800 years now. Not quite, but I've been in business since the 90s, and I can tell you that there's no easier time than now to start a business. When the computers became accessible in the 90s, and then the internet came around, that was a game changer for small business, because I started my first small business before all this. So it was much more difficult to get clients, to start up, etc. It was much more costly. These days, you get up a nice looking website, and that's it. You're pretty much ready to go. You have to have some skills. You have to have something to sell, of course. But it's not nearly as expensive as it used to be. So that means you can get going very quickly. The gatekeepers are not there. So that's very encouraging. But still, you have to assume that in the first year, there's going to be A, some lag time, B, you're going to have to learn the ropes. Now, you can study it. You can get a mentor, which will help you a lot. I've had several mentors in my life that helped me quite a bit. And that will speed up the process, will help you to avoid any pitfalls. But nonetheless, there is still this ramp-up time that you're going to have to expect when you're starting out, because it's normal for any business, and especially if this is your first business, you're going to be learning the ropes at the same time. So that's why I say you transition from the old to the new, so that you're not pressured, you don't have your back against the wall. Now, you can't always do this. I don't know if you're opening up a restaurant or something. You can't slowly open up a restaurant. You have to open up a restaurant, but then you got to get investors and so on. And if you're new to business, you should partner with somebody who is experienced. So let me give you a quick story. When I first started out, I was fortunate that I came from a family of entrepreneurs. Now, my parents didn't help me with my business, didn't give me money. I didn't even get into the same business as my parents. I started out with $200 to my name. That was my net worth when I started out my first business. And I was living on my own. I was a bouncer, working in a nightclub. And so I started doing my first thing. And I'll tell you, one of the mistakes I did make is when after 2 years or so of working really hard with my partner to get the business going, we were approached by somebody who ran a $50 million company. And he wanted to basically buy half the company from us and then finance it and then build it. And we were not into that because we wanted to control the business. And in retrospect, given how young I was, it was like, I don't know, 21 or something, like 22. I should have taken that deal, because besides the fact that, we would have had a good payout, first of all, we would have had the guidance of this guy who was my age now, much more mature than myself. He would have brought so much experience to the game. We would have sped up the whole process, tenfold. So in retrospect, I should have went with this guy. We should have taken that deal and gone ahead with it, just for the learning experience, just for the learning experience. That's just huge. Anyhow, so you have to expect lag time when you start your first business, transition into it. Fortunately, I think you're probably watching me, you're probably involved with tech. I always suggest to everybody that you learn at least the basics of coding, web coding. because it's such an integral part of any business, what you do today. If you got a bagel shop, you should have a website, and you should understand the basic mechanics of web marketing and putting up a website and using technology to facilitate your business processes. Yeah, so in the first year, another thing you're going to be doing, unless you buy a franchise, one of the things you're going to be doing is you're going to be developing business processes. What is that? That's basically how the company operates in an efficient way to get the job done. So let's say you get into freelance contracting in web design, building sites for small businesses. You're going to learn how to acquire new clients. You're going to learn how to set up your contracts. You're going to learn how to negotiate with them. You're going to learn how to filter the offers that you provide to them so that you maximize the amount of money you're going to make for your time. I cover all this in my freelance course, but the point is, whether you become a freelance developer or a social media marketer, or you set up a traditional business, coffee shop, boutique coffee or something, I don't know. You're going to have to develop business practices, as they call. And they're just basically things that you do on a daily basis so that the company flows and grows properly. Anyway, in the first year, this is all part of the game. You're going to have to learn. So don't expect in the first year, in the first 2 months, you're going to be making all kinds of cash. It happens, but don't expect it to happen. I hope this helps. And if you like these business-oriented videos from somebody who's actually been a business owner and entrepreneur since the 90s, I give you just my real-world experience. I don't read other people's books and then tell you what they say. I'm telling you what I have done over the years, my experience and the experience of other entrepreneurs around me. That's the one thing you're going to learn. Once you become an entrepreneur and you stick it through, and you push it through rather, you're going to find yourself meeting other entrepreneurs. And one of the things that will happen to you as you become an entrepreneur is your whole mindset will change, the way you view the world and the way you view things. And as a result, you're going to be hanging around more entrepreneurs. Many of my friends are entrepreneurs, and it's just because we share similar personality traits and similar ways of thinking. And it does change as you get into the game. All right, that's it for today. Bye-bye.